Now, my day started here rather earlier than I thought it might. At 6 o'clock, the phone started to go mad, as I learnt from a phone call that I picked up that Dame Alison Rose, yes, the former Chief Executive Officer of the NatWest Bank with its 19 million bank accounts, was to receive a £2.4 million payoff. Now, I thought to begin with, perhaps it was some form of sick joke. After all, think about what she did. She broke client confidentiality by telling the BBC's business editor at a dinner that I was a customer of Coutts Bank. She then, of course, went rather further than that, because in doing this and in saying that the amount of money in my account had fallen below the limit that you could read about on the Coutts website, she broke every single major rule and law that is set out for the banking industry by the FCA, the regulator of that sector. She then lied and tried to cover up the whole thing by saying, while she did say that I was a customer of the bank, she did not disclose any financial information, something directly contradicted by Simon Jack, the BBC's business correspondent. Now, if you were an employee of NatWest Bank and you did even a fraction of the things that she's done, you would be presented with a plastic box. You'd be told to pick up your personal possessions, to be out of the building within 5 minutes, and I very much doubt you would even get your monthly paycheck. But in the case of Dame Alison, no, the whole board conspired to try and cover the thing up, to try and keep her in her position, and then there had to be another late-night emergency board meeting after the government intervened, where she was not sacked, as she should have been, but no, she was allowed to resign, and therefore she gets £2.43 million in compensation. It isn't just reward for failure, it's actually reward for breaking the law, for breaching, and for lying. And here's the worst bit. This bank, through its own greed and stupidity, which we had to bail out to the tune of £45 billion in 2008 and 2009, is still, because of its continued failure, 39% owned by us. So all of you as taxpayers, in a way, have contributed to this great big paycheck that Dame Alison is going to get. My modest request to the bank, that could they please help me with some of my legal expenses that I've racked up in having to fight her lies, have been studiously ignored. They're hiding behind an inquiry. They've kicked the whole thing into the long grass. They've appointed a city legal firm headed up by a man, Chris Hale, who himself has described Brexiteers as xenophobes and racists. What hope, what chance is there of any form of independent inquiry? And even my own subject access request to NatWest, so I could find out what personal information Dame Alison had about my situation, even that has come back after the normal statutory 30 days, and I've been told that my case is complex, and therefore it cannot be answered until the end of October. So before the inquiry, before any chance of a truth comes out, she's been awarded this pay package. I think the whole thing is a complete disgrace. And frankly, I think her behaviour and that of Sir Howard Davis, the chairman of the board, one of those great serial failures in British public life, he really is, I think we should be calling into question their knighthoods. I genuinely do. Sir Fred Goodwin, who previously headed up the RBS Bank Group, as it was known before it became NatWest, he lost his title for doing far less than these two have done. And I think the government, given that it owns 39% of the shares on our behalf, should act. I am disgusted, but maybe you'd pick that up already.